All right, so now I want to talk about a common problem that I see happening a lot when working with clients on Google My Business, Google Map listings, and that is duplicate listings. There's a lot of reasons why duplicate listings exist. Sometimes it's an address, just a difference in address. Sometimes they have different naming, like maybe in one case they have a different company name, and then in another case they have the owner's name. For whatever reason, though, there are cases where duplicate listings exist, and when that happens, you want to get rid of them. And the reason why is because it can negatively impact your listing and cause it to go into a penalty and not rank. So basically, the way you can check for that is you can come into add location in your Google My Business dashboard, or just the way we did it before in the other video. I think the first video. Either way, it doesn't matter. You're still at the same place. And you can start typing in your client's business name, or you can start typing in their address here. Even though it says business name, you could very well type in, the address, and that'll show up too, as you can see here. But what I'm going to do is I found an example one, and I'm going to go to West Bend Dental, and the company name is West Bend Dental Center, but check this out. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different listings created for their one business. Now, this is a common thing that happens with a lot of people in the health field, like dentists, chiropractors. Also happens with, like, say, attorneys, right? Because they're all working under one firm, but they're technically separate entities sometimes. Not always, but sometimes. And what happens is this does not work and can cause you to go into penalty. Now, this particular business is lucky because they're not in penalty right now yet, but they could be. They could go into penalty. Some of their listings are, but their main listing is not, thankfully for them, and they're showing up on the first page. But their other listings are in penalty. And how do I know that? Well, because if I go and I search more places, you're not going to find their other listings. We've got West Bend Dental here, but let's not forget we've got 5 other ones that were Christy Trout, David Markovich, Zoker Kent, and Kent Zoker. So he's got 2 just under his own. So you can see what happens here, right? They're different variations of the same thing. He probably created 2 because he's wondering why the heck I'm not showing up. Well, this is the reason why he's not showing up. You can go through and you can search through all the listings that exist in West Bend. There's only a couple pages, and none of the other ones are found but that one. And that's the reason why. The reason why is because the other ones are in penalty. So what you would actually want to do in this scenario is you would want to go and you'd want to claim all of these listings. Go and actually verify all of them on your account. And then you're going to want to delete all of them but one of them. You only want one. Delete the other ones. Now you might be thinking, well, what happens if, all these dentists are different companies and they're working out of the same building? What should we do? Well, you have a couple of different options. You could use the option that they did right here, but the thing that they did wrong is they used the exact same address. You can't do that. Now, what they could have done instead was, if we click on one of these, instead of it being 1500 South Main Street, they could have added a second address line, and they could have put in Suite A, and then, then that could have been for Christy, right? Christy could be at Suite A, and then the other one could be at Suite B. The other thing that might be even better than what they did here was they could just take the West Bend Dental out and just put the dentist's name, the DDS after it or whatever. And again, they would still have to put the Suite A because they're still using the same address. Now, this is something that shouldn't be abused. Don't think that you can go and get an address and then go and create a bunch of listings and do Suite A, Suite B, Suite C. That looks obvious and you could get caught for that. Definitely not something I would, recommend that you do, at least not more than a couple times, because that's something that you could catch on. But for a dentist, this is legit. It's just a known fact that, like dental clinics, doctors, chiropractors, lawyers, like this is the nature of how they operate. They all operate out of one firm, but they're separate businesses technically. So this is a way around it. You might vary up the business name. The other thing you might do is definitely add in a suite number to change the address because you don't want this address to be the same. Okay, and then as far as claiming the other ones, because you got to get rid of those other ones. those other 5 listings exist. You need to claim them all. You're going to want to claim them, verify them, has to be verified. And then from there, under the info tab, you'll be able to close the listing. Okay, so right here, you'll be able to close it. You can mark as permanently closed or remove the listing entirely. All right, so there you have it. That's how you're going to deal with duplicate listings. It's very important, and make sure you check. If you're having trouble ranking or something like that, this could be a reason why. If your client's having trouble or their listings aren't showing up, this could very well be one of the reasons why that is happening.